Hi, thank you for clicking to watch my video. I am going to be sharing with you a video post that I posted about nearly 2 years ago of my pregnancy delivery of Vivian. There are going to be three videos, so just bear with me. My husband Damien is joining me in this video to talk about our delivery experience. There are a lot of gaps that he does fill in because I was so heavily drugged at the hospital. But here we are 21 months later, and Vivian is just growing beautifully. But this video was filmed around the time when she was 8 months old. I talk about my fibroid, I talk about some mistreatment in the hospital, and just my overall experience. I'm doing this video because I want to share with others knowledge and just the experience. I know for me, I have been scared pretty much my entire life of having a baby. And that's why I've waited. This is one of the reasons why I've waited so late in life, so late in life to have a baby. And I'm also going to be sharing some other experiences with you of some friends of mine. So we'll just be talking about parent life, what's going on in the world, and how it's affecting our children. So if you would like to be a part of this little project that I have going on, then contact me on Instagram or Facebook at Becoming Vivian's Mother. But yes, I'm going to start you all off with these first three short episodes, and then from there, I will go on to other friends of mine that are parents. So enjoy.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hi. So, today I introduce to you my husband, Damien Meeks, and you already know Baby Vivi. Today we are going to talk about the big day, Vivian's debut. Yeah. So, we can just jump right into it.
Okay, well,
Let's not give any hospital names or doctors or nurses.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, but so we'll start from the beginning then.
Yeah, we'll start with Wednesday.
Okay, so
Yeah, on a certain Wednesday, um, they wanted me to come into the hospital to be induced for labor, and I had everything packed in the trunk, and they said be there by 7 p.m. So we're just rushing across town in traffic, and we made it to the hospital, parked the car, brought all of our stuff upstairs, only to be told there are no beds.
yeah,
And I'm like,
there's no room in the inn. That's what it felt like.
yeah. And I told them, look again in the system because I'm due to come in today. Like, today is my induction day. And they said, sorry, we can't bring you in.
And they said you got a phone call as well.
They said I had a phone call. I'm like, I didn't get no phone call. I seriously did not get a phone call. But when we left and we were outside, while you were getting a car, I did check my phone. They did call, but they did not leave a voice message, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they said just to be on call.
So that was just a mess.
It was a mess.
Yeah, but when was it? The Friday?
Yeah, the doctors contacted me the next day on a Thursday, and they said, since you're 39 weeks, we want to bring you in. So come in for a doctor's appointment. We're gonna do one of those non-stress tests again because I have been giving those for some odd weeks. Super boring. You're just sitting there with a band, two bands over your belly, but they're just checking the heart rates of both you and baby. Um,
Yep. So I dropped you off, went to your mom to grab and drop off some stuff. Well, not drop off some stuff, drop off the dog
yeah,
because we just didn't know what was gonna happen next. But
didn't know.
they never confirmed whether or not she was gonna stay in. And clever thinking, I got some lunch because we knew that once she got checked into the hospital, that
But
she will not be able to eat again.
but wait. But at the hospital, well, at the doctor's office, they they told me that my blood pressure had gone up, and they said, you know what, you need to go next door to the hospital. More than likely, they will keep you. They will keep you, and you may deliver tonight or tomorrow. So called you back up. You came and you got me because we just I wasn't driving like the last week or two of pregnancy
Yeah.
just because it was safer though. But yeah, so Damien had the Subway already in the car, and we got into the parking garage, and that's what we ate. That was
Our last
our
meal.
last meal.
Did you
Yeah.
have the tuna?
Did I have tuna or did I have turkey? No, I think I had tuna.
You had tuna,
I
yeah.
had tuna.
You
Yeah.
had with cheese, you had without cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. So we ate, and then we went in, we checked in, and did they do another non-stress test?
They checked you in. We went to the triage. They did another non-stress test, and the nurse in there said, "Well, you're checked in already. If they didn't tell you, you're not leaving tonight. You staying here to have this baby."
Mm-hmm.
And induction was gonna be next, but we had to wait until we got a room firstly, and we were in the non-stress test or in the triage for about
An hour.
hour to about 90 minutes, somewhere around there.
The nurse was really nice. That was in there.
Yeah,
She was super nice. I really did like her. And
she was. And since what happened Wednesday with the whole dragging the luggage, because Christina had the car prepared for a long time, and
I'm a prepared.
yeah, she is a preparer. So she had I guess we'll go through the stuff you had inside the car, but pretty much we had a suitcase with everything that we may or may not need, and she I decided to leave it in the car until I knew definitely we had a room this time because Wednesday was just a headache going back and forth.
Make sure when you are going to the hospital to have your baby's car seat already installed in the car. They will not let you leave the hospital without that installed in your vehicle. So
Hey,
make
good
sure you have
afternoon,
that.
Amy.
And so they checked us into the next room, and that's where they began to give me medicine.
Yes. So, oh yeah, that's very important. That's why you need to eat before you go there because once they start induction, they're not going to allow you to eat anything until the baby comes. Everything you eat comes through the fluids.
Yeah, they had like the IV,
The IV, yeah.
everything that you needed there. And so you'll hear Damien talk a lot about what happened over the next few days because I was just so heavily drugged with everything. I only have like bits and pieces of memory. I seriously do. Like it's it is a little bit frustrating for me now because I did get to miss out. I did miss out on quite a few things during this whole process. But yeah, so they started induction that evening around 7ish.
Yeah,
Yeah, 7ish.
sometime around 7.
Yeah,
And all we knew was going to take about roughly maybe 6 hours before she was going to be ready for labor, but that took a little bit longer.
um, the only thing I was allowed to have was crushed ice and water, but that was fine because that was what I was craving all throughout my third trimester, anyways. So that was just fine.
Well, you were actually put on a liquid diet,
Mm. But I
and
still didn't have anything to eat.
you did have some things, but it probably made you sick.
We'll get to that
Yeah,
soon.
because we found out later that she can have this liquid diet.
Yeah, it's sick. Nobody. Yeah, but so I was able to sleep somewhat throughout that night. I was having my contractions all throughout the night, all throughout the next morning, up until noon time. And I kid you not, it felt like pelvis, my pelvic bone was just widening. And of course, it is widening because so baby can come out. But it just felt like it was like the strongest cramp that you could ever possibly think of, and it just felt like everything inside of me from the waist down was just spreading. I was in such complete pain. And then that's when the doctors the next day, the next morning, late in the morning, they kept trying, they came in and they were
Checking your cervix.
checking my cervix.
They checked the nighttime. They checked around 10 o'clock, and then they checked two more times during the night. I know there were two different nurses that came, and she wasn't dilated enough by that time, so we went into the next day, into Saturday.
I remember with one of the nurses, I know each time that they checked me, I was holding your hand. You were on this side of me, and I was just holding your hand. You know, just people touching me. Ugh. But I
And I
remember
had to
this.
watch. That wasn't fun. But
this the second nurse. I felt like she just rammed her fist up in me. Like I felt so violated. I just felt like it was rough, and she was just like jerking all around. I just remember crying. I remember grabbing your arm and actually digging my nails into your arm, and then you had jumped up and you explained.
that wasn't that.
That wasn't me.
No, your memories are a little bit distorted, but I'll fill in the blanks.
Okay.
Yeah, for you. But anyways, yeah. Later that night, because I had worked all day that day, and then we went to the doctor, of course, and I have planned to try to get some rest in between there and wake up for the delivery, but be prepared for the nurses to be entering the room roughly every 15 minutes. So,
Throughout the whole stay.
yeah, so you're never going to sleep. The best part about that is that it was a preparation for what came in the next 24 to 48 hours,
Yeah.
which was Vivian.
I remember with that, going back to the nurse though, or going back to the nurse checking the cervix, I remember after she left, you were like saying to me, I know that you're in pain. I know that you probably felt violated, but just know that this is their job, and oh, I think that, and they're here to take care of you. Everything is okay because I was just freaking out. We had another main nurse that was working with us. She was horrible. To me, she just had like the nastiest attitude. Like, she wasn't warm, she wasn't welcoming. It was like she did not want to be there.
Yeah.
She did not want to be there. And I remember feeling, hungry. And so she was like, okay, I can bring you some chicken broth. She brought in the chicken broth
In
and
a styrofoam cup.
in a styrofoam cup, and it was warm. And as soon as I started to drink it, I was like, something's not right. I started vomiting, and The vomit tastes like piss.
Yeah. I don't know because I didn't taste that chicken soup. Nor did I taste the vomit.
But
But it looked like this, the color of it.
but I just started vomiting like violently. And then before I knew it was time for delivery, and then right after delivery, I just started vomiting again for the rest of the night. You know, it was like I had baby in one hand, the vomiting bowl in the next, and like trying to hold my baby, vomiting all over the place. It was awful. It was awful. But going back to that nurse, she was awful. And then the doctor came in. He checked my cervix, and he said, your cervix is not opening. It's at 1 centimeter. This was like around
10 in the morning.
10 in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, and just bear in mind the night before, the other nurses that checked, they said it was 4 centimeters and they needed to get to 6. So something wasn't adding up, but hey, we gotta trust the doctor because I don't know how to measure a cervix. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking all kinds of crazy, disgusting thoughts. Anyways, yeah,
Maybe I am too.
but yeah, he said that the cervix was still at 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is the size of a Cheerio. Okay, so no baby is coming out something that's the size of a Cheerio. He said that they were going to go ahead and prep the operating room. We were going to go straight
well,
to.
no, that didn't come as yet. So, no, he said he'll come back in a couple of hours or an hour and check again because he checked twice that morning.
And he did the.
Right, I'll get it right because it wasn't him. So there was an anesthesiologist because after he came in the second time, he said I did expand by 1 or 2 more centimeters, but it still wasn't right where it needed to be. And then the anesthesiologist, he came in, and this is when the fingernails just eradicated some skin cells from my body. Yeah.
They did the epidural. That's when they did the epidural. And I just remember them pinching me at least 3 times. And each time I just was like it was hurt. Because I knew that this needle was going in between my vertebrae.
It was a little bit more rash than that, but okay. Yeah.
Well, from what I remember next is that the doctor came back. He said, you're not, your cervix isn't opening. Your blood pressure is going up, and the baby's blood pressure is going down.
Yeah.
So we got to prep the OR, and you're going to have a C-section. By this point, I'm just shaking. Like, my nerves are just shot. Like, I hadn't prepared for this. I just knew that I was going to have a vaginal birth, and that scared the hell out of me.
Well, and that was not the only thing. So he did say that, but it was our choice whether or not we wanted to wait to see if she dilates more that she can do a vaginal birth. But he strongly suggested, that we do the C-section, and he said, because of their heart rates going where they were going, that this was the safest and best thing to do.
Thank you for viewing part 1. Click on part 2.